one to me, but it didn't go through that. She gon' let me hit it anything now. What you gonna say now? My ex-girl got a baby now, but she still let me stay now. I can tell who's on the way out. 25 shows, check the payout. I ain't going home, I'ma stay out. Motherfuckers hate you when they looking for a way out. I just sit back and let it play out. She gon' let me hit it anything now. What you gonna say now? My ex-girl got a baby now.
Welcome back to the final show, Fight Fiends and Forecasters of 2025. What a year it was. We had some lock streaks. They were hot. We had some dog of the week streaks. They were barking. We had some big future bets with Rory Malroy, with golf, basketball bets, hockey bets, football bets, friggin' right, Fight Fiends and Forecasters. The future's bright. Join Patreon now, link in the description below. Check me out on all socials. I've been up around the clock, 24 hours now, trying to get this video out. My hair's a mess, but the picks are not a mess. They're going to make you money this week. So stay tuned. Tomorrow, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, Prop Fiends are going live once again. Prelim Tim's coming back. MMA Husky Hustler will be there howling. So we're giving out the props Thursday. I got hockey on Friday night, so we can't do the show Friday. And we're doing a dual giveaway. 2 times the giveaways, 2 giveaway wheels on the Prop Fiend show. I forgot to do the giveaway wheel. We got over 100 entries. We're spinning it twice. We're giving out over $100 tomorrow, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time on the Prop Fiend show. Be there. Be square. We're going to be sharp. Husky, Prelim Tim, they're ready to go this week. This is the final event of 2025. 2026, sky's the limit. There's no plateau. All right, we keep climbing and climbing the mountain. All right, stay focused each and every week. Off a loss, you're going to taste those. Just stay motivated, as you should be, off a loss. And let's get right back to it. Couple losses last week, but that is absolutely fine. We're going to find the win column this week to finish off the year strong. Santa has a lot of goodies for everybody listening in this week. First fight of the night, 24 years old in the women's flyweight division. Tereza Bleda is going to beat up the Canadian, beat down the Canadian, and get her hand raised, probably by unanimous decision. I think all around she's a better fighter. She's only improved, and she's been around for a while, a couple years now inside of the UFC, 24 years old. We're going to see the improvements, and I think she's a much better fighter all around than Jamey-Lyne Horth, my Canadian. The fighter's IQ is off the charts for Bleda, reason why she is a favorite, and I do expect her to become a little bit bigger of a favorite by fight night. Hopefully Fight Fiends love this pick. I think Tereza Bleda is pretty high up on the parlays, although it's a women's MMA fight. Very confident pick for Fight Fiend, Tereza Bleda. Next one, I don't want to waste your time too long. I personally did not waste my time on this one. I didn't look into it a whole lot, I'm being honest here. This should be on Dana White's Contender Series. 2 guys that are going to stand there and throw leather at each other, probably right out of the gate. Heavyweight division, anything can happen. I'm taking the plus money here with Alan Frye. He's fried his competition that looked like the better competition recently. You know, the Brazilian's coming off a knockout win in round 3 to a 4-4 opponent. I can't trust in that, especially as a favorite. Looking at the dog, he knocked out a guy in round 1 that was 12-3. I'm going to take the chance here. Prelim fight. I expect 1, 2, maybe 3 underdogs to bark on the prelims. So this would be a good opportunity here. Alan Frye versus Guilherme. Let's see what happens there. Not wasting your time on that one. Like I said, I didn't do a whole lot of research on that one. This one here, we all know what to expect. We seen Melissa Croden in her UFC debut last time, managed to get the win in round 3. Obviously, she didn't look as explosive, as calculated as Luana Santos did versus Tainara Lisboa. Tainara Lisboa got smoked to Luana Santos. Santos showed levels in that fight. She showed that she's just levels above in the MMA game than Melissa Croden. Croden might be able to compete. She has power in this fight. But for what it is, I think Luana Santos is levels above her in the mixed martial arts career. She's been in the UFC making a run for it. I think Luana Santos is a good prospect. She's 25 years old. She's still the younger fighter in this fight. Croden's just a little bit past her prime, if there ever was one. Still green in her career at 34 years old. Another Canadian. I can't pick to win. I'm doing the reverse psychology. If the Canadians win, I'll be cheering. I'm Canadian. Hell yeah. But realistically, I think Luana Santos is levels above my Canadian Croden in this matchup. Good price, too. Lots of value on the favorite here. Only a slight favorite, Luana Santos. And I do believe she is levels above Melissa. Next one, we all know Concrete. The grit and the power is going to come into play here. This is another heavyweight fight. And we're taking Concrete. Stephen Asplund as the favorite off Dana White's Contender Series. He was willing to suck Dana White's toes. And I think now that he has his UFC debut, he ain't dropping the bag. All right, he has the grit. He has the power in the hands, like stone hands. I think he can land a shot. He has elbows, knees, and he cut a lot of weight. He used to be 500 and some pounds. This guy cut down to 260. He's probably at the limit, 265 here. Big tits. He's getting it done. He's going to tank Sean Sharaf, who went down versus Justin Taffa. All right? He should be a bigger underdog here. If you can't beat Justin Taffa, he ain't beating Concrete Stephen Asplund. This could be a very, very confident pick this week. Fatal fucking loves it here. He's all over Asplund. And you know those big tits are coming through this week. Good price on Asplund. He's not too big of a favorite. That's pretty affordable. I'd pay the price on those tits. Next up, Jesus, Neil Magny, 4-1 underdog versus the debuter from Ukraine. Now, the Ukrainian is tough. He has grit as well, but I just have a little concern about his activity. He fought 8 months ago. The guy was 20-10. You know, he fought in Bellator 4 or 5 years ago, but Neil Magny has been super active. He's got a 2-fight win streak. Just took out Jake Matthews, submitted him round 3. He shows us finishing upside in this fight for sure. He submitted Mike Malott, did he not? Not too long ago. And he beat Elizeu Zaleski. So Neil Magny has been holding up. He only got knocked out to Michael Morales, Carlos Prates. He lost the decision to Ian Gary. We got to think here, as a 4-1 favorite, is the Ukrainian coming in here and getting put into that caliber in the UFC? I don't think so. I don't think he's at that level. And I don't think he's going to be with those top guys in the welterweight division after this fight. I think Neil Magny is the gatekeeper. I think Neil Magny gets it done. 4-1 underdog here. You know, he has the experience. He knows how to manage the gas tank. And clearly he fought the better competition in his last MMA fight. Clearly he's been more active. Clearly he has heart as well. I'm not saying the Ukrainian doesn't have heart. He can't win the fight. I'm saying Neil Magny is a live dog. This price is way too big for me not to bite on it. So I'm going to lock it up. Dog of the week after Manuel Torres absolutely destructed Grant Dawson round 1. Grant Dawson did not stand a goddamn chance. Knocked out round 1. Now I hope Neil Magny can go in here, give us 3 hard rounds, find a late finish, and prove me right. I think this is a very, very valuable underdog at 4-1. At 5-1, we didn't think Peter Yan had a chance. So hopefully here, Neil Magny can prove Fight Fiends right. This is a good pick. But looking at the other side here, 28-1, a lot of determination, hard on the other side. Let's manage the bankroll wisely. Next one, I'm not even managing the bankroll wisely. I would go all the fucking way in on Joanderson Brito here. He now gets a short notice matchup, and I just think it favors him even more. He's been ready to go. I thought he was going to finish the fight versus a higher level fighter before this changeup. Nothing changes here for me. Maybe an earlier finish, probably round 1. Joanderson Brito lost his last 2 fights. Pat Sabatini was a very tough fight in his last fight. And I don't think the debuters coming in here getting takedowns and stuff like that. What I do worry about might be the range, the distance. But at the end of the day, I think Joanderson Brito can get the takedowns and get a submission in this fight. Worst case, Ontario. Let's go. And we're also going and fading each and every Canadian on the card. So let's see if there's any more Canadians fighting. I don't know if I want to fade this Canadian, do you? Because Amanda Lemos has been win-loss the last 6, 7 fights. She's due for the win. She's fought some incredible fights, but she's 38 years old, 8 years older in this matchup, and probably fading in her career compared to Gillian Robertson. Robertson's looking to make a statement. She's a savage. If she gets the fight to the ground, I think she can control the fight. And at some point, I got to think Gillian can get the fight to the ground and get it done. So with the ground and pound, even dragging it out to a unanimous decision would be a smart play, because Amanda Lemos is not easy to finish. You know, she has been submitted before a couple of years ago, but Robertson has finished her last couple of opponents kind of due for the decision win. So I don't mind if it's inside the distance, submission or a decision, but you got to be careful with the ground and pound. So Gillian Robertson money line, obviously the safest way to look. But in a women's MMA fight, this might be one you just want to leave off. Like I said, Lemos win-loss in the last 7 fights. It's a stat you got to think about. She is due for the win. Underdog here. You got to think a lot of people are betting Robertson in this spot too, being 8 years younger. Is it a parlay buster? I don't know yet. The fights didn't happen, but I'm not overly invested in Robertson. She is the pick as a Canadian, but like I said, I'm fading each and every Canadian on this card other than Gillian Robertson. So we got Bobby Green fighting here soon, and he gets a Canadian making his debut short notice. Fight got put together quick, and obviously the Canadian's an underdog. I didn't look a whole lot into him. He hasn't been a whole lot active in his career either, and I don't think he's going to get the win over Bobby Green, who's off a loss. He got knocked out pretty bad, though. So if Bobby Green gets caught in this fight, I'm not going to be shocked, and I'm not going to have money on him. Why would you? Too big of a favorite is Bobby Green in this matchup. There's too many undetermined things that we don't know about yet. How's Bobby Green's chin going to hold up? How's he going to fight at 39 off a loss like that? Is this debut at 30 years old going to fight like that E-Wing fella, the other pay-per-view? You just don't know what could happen. So with that being said, the value is nowheres. The over-under, I can't tell you what's going to happen. You probably don't even have a sweet clue what's going to happen. So let's stay away, pretend like this fight was never even scheduled, and we move on with the next fight. I think that's a good idea. Bobby Green's the pick, but I'm not trusting in Bobby Green. I'll tell you that. I'm trusting in the African Savage. He has the reach advantage, 5 inches in this fight, and obviously off a loss by heel hook, he's going to go out there and look for the knockout finish. Now, I know the heel hook is a move that Buchecha likes, but I don't like his last fight. I don't like his fight with Mert Boudet there. He looked horrible. I don't think he can get the takedowns in this fight. So with that being said, he's getting knocked out, and he's probably not UFC caliber. He falls to 5-3 with a loss after this fight. Now, Kennedy Nzechukwu has fought at 205. He has the speed and accuracy on the feet. His striking is very good. Now, he obviously has had some bad fights in the UFC, and he got heel hooked in his last fight. But with all that being said, I think he's going out here and smoking Buchecha early. Buchecha's 35. His last fight versus Boudet was brutal. I don't see any reason to have belief in him. The line is way too close, and I'm going all in here on Kennedy Nzechukwu. He's at heavyweight. He has power. The next fight here, this is a close fight, 50-50 fight. I'm not as confident in this pick, but I'm going with Melquizael Costa. Looking at the record here, he's 24-7, fighting Morgan Charriere 21-11. I think that says enough, you know. But Melquizael Costa won his last 4 fights, having a win streak to remember. I think he's making moves in this division. He's going to enter the ranks and be in the top 15 of this division. He's on a good run. His grappling looks good, and I think the grappling gets it done in this fight. He can mix it in with the takedowns, control time. People are saying he's not the stronger fighter. Well, wait till Saturday night. He's going to be the stronger fighter. He's going to get the control time, and he probably locks up a submission here in this fight. Probably a ton of value on that bet as well. On the feet, Morgan Charriere is a crisp and clean boxer. Showed us in his last fight he will not quit on himself. He will not quit on himself. Round 3 family KO versus Nate Landwehr, who's always coming at you. But Melquizael Costa, in my opinion, is more calculated. He's going to pick his spots better. He's going to find those takedowns and maul Morgan Charriere in this fight for the most part, adding to his win streak. One hell of a year it's been for Mel Costa. I like his hairdo. He probably likes mine on this show this week, so we're going to go with hairdo in this one. Not Juice WRLD hairdo. Now we got Cesar, not the drink Cesar. Cesar Almeida. Cesar Santos sounds cool. Cesar Santos would be a much better name. But this guy's a kickboxer. He's elite. He has knockout power. One of our favorite fighters from Dana White's Contender Series, Cezary Oleksiejczuk, has to fight him in his debut. Oleksiejczuk, his brother's already looking pretty good right now in the UFC after the change to fighting nerds, and you got to think with his brother fighting alongside him and the other teammates at Fighting Nerds, he's going to be ready to go in his debut. Hopefully he doesn't drop the bag. He is a favorite. He's not going to be too high up on my tickets, but he's certainly going to be my pick. You know, he has a lot of knockouts in round 1 in his last couple fights, where Cesar Almeida has showed us against Dylan Budka. He got rocked round 1. He struggled a bit. He took a loss against Kopylov. He kind of got outstruck. And the kickboxing doesn't always work. His takedown defense is pretty good. But with a young 25-year-old that's relentless and just pushing forward with a great coach at the Fighting Nerds, you got to think Cezary's going to find his way with the takedowns, mixing it up. Maybe he fakes a takedown, shoots a punch over top, knocks out Cesar Almeida, because on the feet, I think Cezary's too quick and he's going to be too accurate with the power. It's not going to end well for Cesar Almeida at 37 years old. It feels like they're kind of handing him a fight here. That's not going to go his way. You know, Cezary is getting set up for the W. You got to trust in that. His brother's already in the UFC. The Fighting Nerds are going to have this kid ready to go. Has a slight reach advantage, 2 inches taller as well. He just is going to be the bigger body in there as well. He's going to bully Cesar Almeida, and that's my official prediction. He's not a lock of the week, but he is going to bully him, son. It's going to bully him, son. This is the lock of the week, Kevin Bleda, to finish it off. 3 locks of the week. Kennedy, Nzechukwu, Yaroslav, Brito. Kevin Bleda is going to have the power. He's going to push forward. Much younger fighter, and he's going to be trained to make a statement. You know, Giga, Chikadze is much past his prime at 37. He's a stationary striker, and I believe he could get taken down in this fight, being that stationary, flat-footed. I think he could get caught on the feet, but his striking is very seasoned, and I think Vallejos could find more success taking this fight to the ground. A lot of people might not be thinking that, but Vallejos has the capabilities to do that. I think he could be the much better wrestler in this fight, and that's why he is such a big favorite. He has passed to victory in this fight. He has shown us against Jean Silva that he has a lot of heart. He went to a decision with Jean Silva. He took the loss, but in a loss, he showed us promise. In wins, he showed us promise. In his last fight, he was tested with Danny Silva, I do believe, but he continued to push forward. He sat there on the stool between round 2 and 3 and continued to go out there and fight one hell of a fight, fighting for your money, and he got the win. So I'm going to trust him to do the same thing here versus a high-level opponent, but he's 37 years old. His name is very respectful, so a win here for Kevin Vallejos would be good for his career, and I think he's going to take it to another level here. Let's go Kevin Vallejos. Argentina is lined up in this spot to get the win, just like Cezary Oleksiejczuk in that last fight. Now, to finish off the card, it almost smells like a Manel Cop night. It just smells like it, but I can hear the raw dog in the background just barking. You know, on the mic, he's pretty confident. He's comfortable, and I like his attitude a lot. You know, he's been working very hard for a win here. With that Pantoja fight, before Joshua Van, going into round 5, they were tied. 2-2 going into round 5. And Royval, later in the fight, you know, kind of lost it versus Pantoja, but versus Pantoja in his prime, at the top peak of his career, Royval was giving him one hell of a go. One of the best fights we've ever seen was Joshua Van and Brandon Royval. So with the current champion, Joshua Van, Brandon Royval can still compete. Where Manel Kape, he took a loss to Muhammad Mokaev. You know, he got controlled in the grappling department, and I think Royval could take him down, could catch a submission here if he really wanted to. He's slick, he's fast, and he has a lot of tools in the bag, where Manel Kape seems to be stationary on the feet. He's going to be looking for the combinations. He's going to try to strike all night, and it might not work. Brandon Royval says he has a game plan for Manel Kape. Let's see if it can work, because I'm taking Brandon Raw Dog Royval as my pick to finish the year. Final fight on ESPN. Raw Dog going to show up and get it done here. I think I took all favorites on the main card, but to finish off the main card, main event, I'm taking Raw Dog Brandon Royval. With the experience in his last couple fights, hard to go against him. A split decision loss with, what was it, Brandon Moreno? Let's pull it up. This guy is on a run. Even in his losses, not too bad. No, he had 2 split decision wins, Brandon Moreno and Tatsuro Terra. He has 2 split decision wins before the Joshua Van unanimous decision loss. And then he had a unanimous decision loss with Pantoja. Talked about it going into round 5. That one was tied up. But his 2 wins, Tatsuro Terra, proved everyone wrong. And guess who had Raw Dog? Fight Fiend versus Tatsuro. So people have been counting out Brandon Royval. He is very tricky to deal with in the octagon. He has big limbs. He's 5'9", and you're looking at a 5'5" Manel Kape. Reach advantage might be the same, but the knees up the middle are gonna be there for Brandon Royval. The grappling, in my opinion, is gonna lean Brandon Royval. And prelim Tim, I believe, is taking Brandon Royval, which I don't know if many of you know prelim Tim, but if you don't know, now you know. You're gonna join Thursday, tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and listen to prelim Tim's props of the week, Husky Hustlers props of the week, and my 3 props of the week. And Royval could be one of the props of the week for me, but he's an underdog, plus 225, plus 240 now. It could just be a money line bet on the side for platinum members. I got some other props cooked up that I really like. I gave out a lot of picks that I was confident in, so I think we can find some outcomes on this event. And I also, if this stops sketching out, I cooked up the PRP. But obviously with Bobby Green and Joanderson Brito fight changes, odds changed a little bit. I got to edit some things here, but you can take a look at the F3 PRP. The locks, Joanderson Brito, Kennedy Nzechukwu, Kevin Vallejos. With Brito getting a much easier opponent, the plus 210 tickets down to probably plus 50. The odds are wrong, but you know what I'm saying. These are the parlay pieces. Next up, we're taking Tereza, Bleda, Asplund, Oleksiejczuk. Those are the next 3 most confident picks for me. Next up, I'm locking up Luana Santos, Alan Frye. Single add-on Neil Magny after that. Single add-on Mel Costa. Double add-on to finish it off, Robertson, Royval. Yeah. I think we are in for one hell of a event. I believe the PRP to sweep. Each and every week, I try to sweep, but that's not possible in the MMA game. Anything can happen inside of the octagon. If you feel like you got a pick that's better than one of these, if you would change something up, let me know in the comments below. I appreciate everybody interacting, commenting, liking the video, and coming back for the Prop Fiend show each and every week. We're giving out over $100 tomorrow. So you got to be there. You got to be square, and we're going to be sharp. Final event of the year. Final event on ESPN. ESPN. We're going to finish off strong. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Staying forecasted. We out. Neil Magny. Haitian sensation.